After getting drunk, Mary walked into a hotel room and unexpectedly had an intimate encounter with a stranger. When Mary woke up, she felt terrified because she thought the strange man was extremely handsome, possibly a male model, while Mary herself was just a recent college graduate intern who couldn't afford the service fees of a male model. So Mary fled the hotel while the stranger was still asleep. When the stranger woke up, he discovered a patch of red blood on the bedsheet, indicating Mary was a virgin, and he also found a rabbit-shaped earring next to the bloodstain. At that moment, the man's mother called. She demanded that he accept an arranged marriage with another wealthy family. Only by accepting this family alliance and having a child with his wife could the man inherit the family's trillion-dollar assets. Otherwise, the man's father would name his illegitimate son as the sole heir to all assets. But the man had fallen in love with Mary. He told his mother he intended to marry Mary. The man who fell in love with Mary was named Tom. After returning home, Mary recalled her experience with Tom. They had made love 10 times in one night. Mary's neck was covered with Tom's lip marks, and there were some scratches on her legs. Suddenly, Mary felt a sharp pain in her vagina. Believing Tom was a male model who must have had intimate relations with many women and possibly men, Mary feared Tom might have a sexually transmitted disease. Worried she might have been infected by Tom, Mary decided to see a doctor. When Mary saw the doctor, she was shocked because the doctor was the very male model she had slept with. Mary felt extremely embarrassed, but Tom pretended not to know her. When Mary tried to escape, Tom grabbed her arm and forcibly proceeded to examine her. Tom told Mary he was the best gynecologist in the country. Mary told Tom her vagina hurt. Gynecologists typically ask about a patient's sexual history to diagnose their condition. From Mary's answers, Tom learned that Mary was neither married nor had a boyfriend. Tom was secretly delighted, thinking this meant he could pursue Mary. Pretending to be calm, Tom actually demanded that Mary remove her pants for a gynecological examination. Feeling violated, Mary tried to flee, but Tom forcibly took her into an examination room for the checkup. Mary was frightened and very tense. After the examination, Tom told Mary that her vaginal pain was due to excessive activity during intercourse, causing redness, swelling, and inflammation. Tom warned Mary not to have any sexual activity for a week. Suddenly, a female doctor walked in. Mary realized she had been deceived. Tom was not a gynecologist. This female doctor was named Emma, Tom's mother. Mary felt insulted by Tom and was furious. Then Emma became very angry. Seeing the severe redness and swelling of Mary's vagina, she believed Mary's boyfriend was violent during sex and disrespectful towards women. She even wanted to have the boyfriend's penis removed. She didn't know the injuries were caused by Tom. Tom interrupted Emma's speech, and Mary quickly fled the hospital. Tom also left the examination room shortly after. Mary was waiting for a taxi outside the hospital when Tom suddenly pulled up in a luxury car in front of her. Tom took out the rabbit-shaped earring and demanded Mary get into his car, otherwise he wouldn't return it. Mary was furious and thought the earring was cheap and not worth keeping, so she prepared to leave. But Tom threatened Mary, saying if she didn't get in the car, he would upload a video of them having sex to the internet. Extremely worried, Mary had no choice but to get into Tom's car. Inside the car, Tom claimed it was his first time having sex and that Mary had forced him. He demanded that Mary have sex with him again in a week, or he would hire a lawyer to sue her. Mary had no choice but to agree to this unreasonable demand. After getting out of the car, Mary looked up Tom's personal information and discovered he was actually the CEO of K Group. When Tom returned home, he encountered Mike and Lisa. Mike was Tom's father's illegitimate son, and Lisa was pregnant with Mike's child. This meant Tom's father might very well name Mike as the heir to K Group because of Lisa's pregnancy. Tom claimed he would murder Lisa, which terrified Mike. A week later, Tom went to find Mary for sex. Mary's supervisor tried to assault her, and she slapped him. But the supervisor became even more violent, tearing at Mary's clothes. At the critical moment, Tom intervened and prevented the tragedy, knocking Mike to the ground. Mary wanted to thank Tom, but he suddenly grabbed her and shook her violently. Unable to break free, Mary slapped Tom. Instead of getting angry, Tom picked Mary up, claiming he wanted to fulfill their agreement and demanded she have sex with him. After a night of passion, Mary found her clothes torn by Tom. Mary blamed Tom for his rough behavior, and Tom claimed he would compensate her. Mary thought Tom would buy her many expensive clothes to choose from, like wealthy characters in TV dramas, but Tom only bought a very simple dress, which disappointed Mary. Wanting to escape Tom's control as soon as possible, Mary said she had fulfilled the agreement but refused to accept the dress from Tom. Thinking the dress must be cheap, Mary offered to pay Tom back for it. Tom stated the dress cost $50,000. Mary was shocked, as her yearly salary wasn't even $50,000. Mary didn't have $50,000, so she proposed paying Tom in 5 installments of $10,000 each. Tom agreed. Back at the company, Mary's supervisor threatened her, demanding she have sex with him or be fired. Mary was furious. She slapped him and took out her phone to call the police. Afraid of being arrested, the supervisor knelt before Mary, begging for her forgiveness. Sitting at her desk, Mary muttered to herself, worried about how she could repay Tom the $50,000 debt. Mary's colleague Kate overheard and claimed she could introduce Mary to a high-paying part-time job. It turned out Kate wanted Mary to work as a hostess at an upscale bar. Embarrassingly, Mary ran into Tom at this upscale bar. Tom demanded, "Mary, pour him a drink." Mary said she didn't know how. Kate, thinking Tom was interested in Mary and she wouldn't get his tip, quickly brought Tom a glass of wine, but Tom smashed the glass and kicked Kate out of the bar's private room. When Mary tried to leave, she was stopped and forced to pour Tom a drink. Mary was so scared by Tom that she started crying and seized a chance to escape. Mary was fired from the upscale bar. Then Tom appeared before her and offered to drive her home. This scene was witnessed by Lisa. If Tom married Mary and Mary got pregnant, then Lisa's husband Mike wouldn't be able to become the heir to K Group. Lisa called Mike, and they plotted to kidnap Mary. Tom confessed his love to Mary and proposed marriage. Unwilling to marry someone who kept hurting her, Mary lied to Tom, saying she had a boyfriend. Meanwhile, Lisa and Mike watched everything unfold from a car in the distance. To quickly repay the $50,000 she owed Tom, Mary accepted a job taking care of a wealthy man's dog. Tom saw Mary entering a hotel with a man, mistaking him for Mary's boyfriend. Tom was furious. At that moment, Tom truly fell in love with Mary. Tom followed Mary to her home and tried to force a kiss on her. Mary refused Tom, saying she hated him. Heartbroken, Tom left Mary's house. Lisa gave Mary's supervisor James $10 million, ordering him to kill Mary. At the company, James tricked Mary, saying there was an important project for her to handle, requiring her to personally sign a contract. Although worried James might harm her, Mary agreed, desperate to repay Tom the $50,000. The worst happened. James drugged Mary's water. He hired a brutal man to assault Mary while he recorded it with his phone. At this critical moment, Tom kicked open the door, knocked both the brutal man and James to the ground. Yes, Tom had never given up on Mary. He had always been protecting her. Due to the drugs, Mary had intimate relations with Tom. The next day, Mary woke up to find Tom beside her. She tried to escape, but Tom pinned her to the bed. Mary cried, feeling constantly victimized by bad people. At that moment, Tom proposed to Mary, which she found very hard to accept. Mary believed Tom, as the CEO of K Group, was someone she wasn't worthy of marrying. Tom gave Mary 3 days to consider and hoped she would accept his proposal then. From James, Tom learned that all these disasters were orchestrated by Lisa. Tom decided to seek revenge. While Lisa was celebrating the apparent success of murdering Mary, Tom's appearance shocked and terrified her. Tom picked up a pair of scissors from the table. Lisa immediately protected her stomach, terrified Tom might harm her. If Tom killed Lisa or used violence, causing her to miscarry, Mike couldn't become K Group's heir. Tom forcefully stabbed the scissors into a pomegranate on the table, frightening Lisa. But Tom said he would never harm a woman. Then Mike stepped in front of Lisa. He had to ensure Lisa carried the pregnancy to term, or he couldn't become the heir. Unexpectedly, Tom suddenly slapped Mike. Mike insulted Tom with words and verbally attacked Tom's mother, Emma. Enraged, Tom picked up a glass from the table, ready to smash it on Mike's head. At that moment, David stopped Tom's violent act. David was the shared father of Tom and Mike, but they had different mothers. Mike was David's illegitimate son. David threatened Tom. He would formally draft his will at his birthday banquet, naming Mike as the heir to K Group's shares. If Tom wanted to become the heir, he must accept the family's condition. Marry Amy, the daughter of an oil tycoon. But Tom deeply loved Mary and couldn't accept David's condition. Tom began plotting a very audacious plan. 3 days later, the time for Tom and Mary's agreement arrived. Tom waited for Mary downstairs. When Mary saw Tom, she hid because she hadn't decided whether to accept his proposal. When Mary peeked again to look for Tom, he seemed to have vanished. But when she turned around, she bumped right into him. Tom held Mary in his arms. A picture-perfect romantic moment. Tom asked Mary to temporarily become his wife. This way, Tom could use his married status to refuse marrying Amy and potentially gain full control of K Group's shares. Mary wanted to refuse, but Tom made an offer. If Mary accepted his proposal, she wouldn't have to repay the $50,000 debt. Mary accepted Tom's invitation. Tom took Mary to a high-end custom dress boutique. Mary put on a gown custom designed for her by a world-famous designer. Tom was captivated by her beauty. When Tom and Mary arrived at the birthday banquet, what would happen next? Could Tom secure all shares of K Group? Could he marry Mary? What schemes would Mike and Lisa plot next? Stay tuned.